So I may have just broken the new Star Fox game.
You have played the game for a long time.
Yeah, kind of like that. Now you may have seen a video I posted a couple of weeks ago in which I explored the return of a 30-year-old glitch that I discovered as a kid in the original Star Fox 64, in which, while in all-range mode, you could keep performing a U-turn over and over and over to slowly gain altitude, to the point that I was able to get pretty high across a variety of levels. The problem is that, for most of them, at least the most interesting ones, there's some kind of restriction in place that basically caps how high you can get. Whether it's a hard time limit like a bomb going off, or a soft time limit until Starwolf shows up and shoots you down, or even just taking too much damage in general, like all the missiles from this guy, which unfortunately ended my run after 23 minutes, but I still managed to get pretty high up. But I had no idea that that was basically just a tip of the iceberg, or skyscraper I guess, because we're going up and not down. Because in the comments of that video, along came someone called Ashproof, with proof of them getting much higher. So I decided to give it another shot, or a few 10,000 of them in this case, because this time it came equipped with the Easy SMX S10 controller, which has a built-in turbo feature, one of which allows me to press those buttons rapidly without even pressing anything at all. Which meant not only did I not have to sit here and keep pressing down on the D-pad to keep doing U-turns over and over, but I could also turn on turbo for A so it would fire my lasers and shoot down the missiles before they could shoot me down. And as it turns out, those were a complete game changer, as I could just put my controller down and let the game play itself. And let me tell you, things got weird after a little while. And by a little while, I mean around the hour and 16-minute mark. Now at first, everything seems normal, aside from the fact that I'm super high up in the air. Look at this! I am well above all the mountains that exist in this level. But listen closely to the boss's next dialogue. Oh wait, you can't because it's not there. Then, about 3 minutes later at the hour and 19-minute mark, the music drops out too. And not just the music, but a lot of the sound effects too, including my blasters. Even if one does slip through every now and then.
What have you done?
Yeah, that's a good question. Though it's odd that we can hear him now, but not the music or sound effects. As it turns out, I think one of the only sound effects we can hear is the one of the missiles following me around. Because, even though my blasters have been effective in keeping them from getting too close, that hasn't stopped them from tracking me entirely. Yeah, look at that! But interestingly, the music and sound effects would eventually return, before going away again, and that cycle continued throughout this test. And by the 3.5 hour mark, if not even sooner, the frame rate started to tank.
Irritating insects!
And yeah, it affected the sound quality too, whenever that was working. But by this point, we were ridiculously high in the air. If I freeze it here, we can see that we're so high up we can fit the entirety of the all-range section on screen at once. And that little green glowing dot? Yeah, that's the boss. But even this isn't a true representation of how high up we actually are, as you may have noticed that the R-Wing's not even on the screen right now. And that's because it's actually above the camera, way up there! See it? You can even see its tiny little crosshairs in front of it too, along with the missiles chasing behind it. In any case, from being so high up in the air, we can see a few interesting things, like how the nearby mountain range only exists from the front, as the backside is completely missing. And not only do those distant mountains not seem so far anymore, but we can also see that not only are they secretly islands, but they're all clones of each other too. Now playing it again at normal speed reveals just how terrible the frame rate has gotten. And yet, something even worse is about to happen. But first, I want to show you this cool little thing as soon as it swings back into view as we do our U-turn here. Do you see that long corridor there? That's where the introductory cutscene for this boss took place, where Fox is flying in. And we can see that the starting point doesn't really connect to anything. And certainly not the part of the level that happened right before that cutscene. And as the camera pans up here, you're going to see a distant mountain disappear. Did you catch it? There it is, and now it's gone. You'll see the same thing happen on the downswing too as we complete the U-turn. Blip. Alright, it's time to finally show you what happened just before the 3.5 hour mark. Are you ready? Yeah, it crashed, even harder than James McCloud. Too soon? Though since I had the turbo features turned on, here's what it actually looked like. Yeah, by the time I came back, it was already back in the tutorial.
Here, you'll learn to.
But here's the interesting thing. I don't think the altitude that I gained, the extreme height that I was at, had anything to do with the game's performance issues or it crashing. And I say this because I tried doing the exact same U-turn glitch again in Bolts. But unlike in my first glitch video, I actually took down Starwolf this time with Hachina first, that way they couldn't appear in Bolts to take me down. And since there was nothing else here that could shoot me down, I ended up lasting for 16 hours. Look how freaking high I am. Yeah, that's a satellite way down there. I could have kept going, but I needed to use my Switch 2 for other work-related matters, and I was starting to run out of hard drive space too. But before it started descending, I tried firing a bomb and noticed something weird. It blew up way in the distance. Yeah, I don't get it. Now, in case you're wondering how long it took to descend from this height, well, how about I tell you as I show you the entire process on fast forward. As after doing U-turns for 16 hours, I could undo all of it in about 4.5 minutes. By any other metric, that would be a really long time, but when compared to the amount of time it took to get that high, yeah, it's not much. So there you have it. That's what happens if you take that glitch to the extreme, or at least a 16-hour extreme. But if you want to take it even longer, hey, let me know what you come across. So then everyone, thank you for watching. If you want to see more behind-the-scenes features like this, I actually have one for this exact game where you can see even more weird things going on if you move the camera in places you're not supposed to. So put it on the screen right now, give it a click. Otherwise, we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.